It's 1911, after the horrific fire at the Triangle Shirtwaist factory in New York City. Meet a seamstress who organized lady garment workers to stand up to their sweatshop bosses.
My name is Pauline Newman. I've been fighting ever since I was born in Lithuania in 1893. They barred me from attending public school because I came from a poor Jewish family. We outsmarted them though, and I attended an all-boys religious school. When my father died, our family immigrated to New York City, where I became a garment worker at the age of 8. I'd like to tell you what kind of world we lived in 100 years ago, because none of you were born then. The world was a world of incredible exploitation of men, women, and children. I went to work at the Triangle Shirtwaist factory, and the corner of the shop, this corner of the factory looked like a kindergarten because we were so young, 8, 9, 10 years old. It was a boring job. They gave me a scissors to clip threads. It was tedious work. The human being didn't mean anything. The hours were from 7:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night, when it wasn't busy. But when the season was on, we worked until 9 o'clock at night. No overtime pay, not even supper money. My wages as a youngster were $1.50 for a 7-day work week. I know it sounds exaggerated, but it isn't. It's true. All we knew was the bitter fact that we did not earn enough to keep body and soul together. We were constantly under surveillance. The bosses timed our bathroom breaks and docked our pay for any mistake we made on the factory floor. I remember when we walked out in 1909, we were on strike against intolerable working conditions. It was the first organized resistance by women laborers. Thousands upon thousands left the factories from every side, all of them walking down toward Union Square. It was November. The cold winter was upon us. We had no fur coats to keep us warm, but the young people walking down that day, they didn't care what might happen. The spirit of a conqueror led us. We didn't know what was in store for us. We didn't really think of the hunger, cold, and loneliness. We just didn't care on that particular day. That was our day. When the strike was finally over, I left the factory. The garment workers hired me as their organizer, and I traveled the country organizing strikes in Philadelphia, Cleveland, and Kalamazoo, Michigan. I was on the road when I got the tragic news. On March 25th, 1911, fire broke out in the Triangle Shirtwaist factory in New York City. The stairwells and fire exits had been blocked by the sweatshop bosses. They were worried that their employees might escape or steal scraps of fabric. A spark lit a mountain of fabric and the flames spread. Smoke poured from the 8th and 9th floors. The faces of young women were up against the windows, hundreds of screaming heads. At one window, a young man helped a girl onto a sill and let her drop as gently as if he were helping her into a streetcar. That's when we heard the first thud. The girls had no other way out. Many of them jumped from windows to escape the flames. The thuds of the falling bodies grew so loud, I thought they'd be heard all over the city. 146 workers died. Most of them young Jewish women who had come from Russia seeking the American dream. The garment workers were strikers, not slaves. Their tragedy led to improved safety standards and better working conditions. There were many conditions that women would not tolerate, so we continued to organize. Now, in 1915, we were not supposed to talk about sexual harassment or sexual orientation. It was supposed to be a secret. But what's the secret? You and I know about it. We've experienced it. We're supposed to be ashamed. I lived for 56 years with my partner, Frida Miller, raising a child together. Both of us fought for women's and workers' rights. I am not ashamed. I am angry, and I am fighting for our rights. My friend Rose Schneiderman told me a story that I'd like to share with you. While she was organizing a garment shop, she heard that the boss had a habit of pinching the girls every time he passed them. They, of course, did not like it and wanted it stopped. So Rose went to him and said, "This business of pinching the girls in the rear has got to stop. They resent it and just need to stop." The boss was a rather earthy man, and so he looked at Rose in amazement and said, "Why, Miss Schneiderman, these girls are like my children." And Rose snapped back, "We would rather be orphans." The pinching, it stopped because we stuck to our union.
There once was a union maid who never was afraid of goons and geeks and company fakes and deputy sheriffs who made the raid. Went to the union hall when a meeting it was called. When the company boys came round, always stood their ground. "Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Today I die." That union maid was wise to the tricks of the company spies. When we fooled by company stools, she would always organize. Slip her way, she looked for higher pay. Show her card to the National Guard, and this is what she'd say: "Oh, you can't. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Today I die." Try. To my right, sing the chorus, and I'm going to see if those on my left can out-challenge you. Here we go, ready? I don't know. Oh, you can't.